Hello, my name is Susan Calverley Parker and I'm about to go out to my studio to start painting. This is my normal routine and I haven't made any special concessions for the fact that I'm actually videoing this. So here are my boots, which I put on every day because they're very sturdy and they give me some good insulation from the floor in my studio, which is quite cold. This is the walk from my house out to my lovely studio, which it gives me great pleasure every day. And I go through my garden and walk towards my studio. The only sounds I can hear are the wind and a few birds. But here's the door to my studio, and I'm using the key that my godson made for me when he was about 8. And it's a piece of branch with an S on the end, and I loved going to the studio with that key. So unlocking the studio, and I haven't tidied up. This is normality, which may appear rather chaotic, which it is somewhat, but it's for me a wonderful space, and I get excited every time I come in. I've got a few paintings half finished, some materials out on the table and more down below, and inspiration boards on the walls, things that I've seen in newspapers which I find interesting, or reference material, and some old frames waiting for things to go in, and shelves of objects and utensils and all sorts of things that I pull out when I need. Over here a stack of paintings that are possibly finished but may not be entirely, and some sketches that are half finished as well, a sketchbook and various bits of paintings and experiments, portfolios with work that has been finished. The view out of my studio window is wonderful. Today it's a lovely morning, cold but crisp, and that's Ingleborough, and the sun's shining. So I'm not quite sure what I'm starting with, but there's a piece of work on the easel which is in development. Not sure quite what I'm doing with it yet. It's to do with rocks and shadows and ideas behind the solidity of the rock and the passing shadows of humanity crossing it. And that's about it for the moment. I shall put my radio on, listen to some nice music, and have a little experiment with what I can produce today. This is the view back through my garden. Hello, it's Susan Calverley Parker here again, and I'm just going to explain a little bit about my work before you see a video of my paintings this year, which I have prepared. I decided not to frame them this year because it's a virtual trail rather than an actual trail coming to my studio. Most of my previous work I have framed for the exhibition, but this year it didn't seem a necessary thing to do. So I've worked on quite a lot of paintings which are based again on nature and what is going on in the landscape and how we are treating our environment, and they are often philosophical as well. I can leave you to think about that as you look at them. I'm not going to speak over the images of the pictures because I think that does distract, so there should just be a nice soundtrack for you to see the video. The first 3 paintings are a series of 3 and are based on ideas of continued life and the power of nature. I saw a spear of grass growing through a dead leaf in the garden, and I just thought that really shows the power of life and the determination to survive, and the future, the hope for the future. So that was the subject of those 3 paintings. The next 3 are also based on ideas of the current situation that we have, where we are actually in isolation, and I just wanted to express my feelings a bit about that and how the world is changing, and it's getting bigger again because we're all staying in one place rather than travelling. So those are those 3, and then I did a series of paintings of woodlands, which then led on to other ideas about nature and conservation and the future and happiness in nature, dancing and singing and listening to birds, and other ideas that have been with me for a long time. So that's my short introduction to my work, and now you will see the video. This is the first painting in a series of 3, and I've entitled this one, Is There? This is the second in the series of 3. There is. And this is my 3rd painting in this series, entitled Where? This painting is another of a series of 3, and it's the first in an untitled series, open to your interpretation. This is the 2nd painting in the untitled series of 3. And the 3rd painting in the series of 3 untitled. Thank you very much for looking at my videos and my online exhibition. I hope you've enjoyed looking at the work, and if you have any further interest in looking at things, I do have a website. The music on the backing of the video is by Sangra Voss. Thank you.